Hello. Welcome to the Richly or Poorly Show. My name is Dr. Stephen Dawson, and I'm your show host. Thank you for joining me. Please visit shdawson.com/podcast and click on the link Offer to learn about the Richly or Poorly Show. Here you can familiarize yourself with the show. Please listen to, follow, and like the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and wherever you listen. And please remember to leave the show a nice review. Please share the show with your friends. Send them the link to my podcast webpage and offer to help them set up their device to subscribe to the show. Thank you to the 6 streaming services that syndicate the Richly or Poorly Show. Thank you to the anonymous and individual sponsors of the Richly or Poorly Show. I am still looking for my first commercial sponsor. Finally, please continue to email your questions and comments about the show to service@shdawson.com. The show's motto is unmistakable. Richly is goodly. Please consider how you define the term good as we journey through life together in your pursuit of defining the term richly in your life. The plan for my presentations to you was to first establish a foundation of shared understanding between you, the listener, and me. Then, proceed to build on that foundation with subsequent episodes. I recommend that you review the 9 episodes between December 2nd, 2025 through January 27th, 2026 as you see fit to help you remember the foundation of our shared understanding as we proceed through each episode you hear in the coming weeks, months, and years. Last week, I presented on virtue to answer the question I left with listeners when I concluded the February 24th, 2026 episode. I said last week that wisdom is the truth. I said last week another way to look at this is the truth is wisdom. Today I will present 2 parts of how you, as my listener, can succeed with wisdom. First, I will present on how wisdom comes to you, becomes a part of you, and flows out of you. Then I will share attributes of people I have seen over the decades who have wisdom in their lives, evidenced by their use of the truth. Wisdom dwells together with prudence. Wisdom possesses knowledge and discretion. Wisdom will always give those who seek wisdom the most appropriate words to say at any time they need to speak. Need to speak, not necessarily want to speak. Want is about choice, whereas need is about mandate. Wisdom has no boundaries among humanity. How do I know this is the case? I restate the term truth as I presented in the December 23rd, 2025 episode. The term truth is a singular term. It is a proper noun. A proper noun is a noun that is used to denote a particular person, place, thing, or idea. It is timeless in duration, never changing as it is absolute. I presented on December 9th, 2025, the first principle I have found is paramount, undeniable, and non-negotiable to living life more richly. Understand your data life cycle. I presented on January 20th, 2026, the first aspect of the truth. Arrogance precedes anger, and anger precedes violence. Wisdom has a clear pattern. It is first realized, then understood in part, then flows out of you to another person, then further understood, then further out of you to another person again. The cycle repeats itself endlessly. Let's first look at the clear pattern of wisdom. I will present the material in sections so you can keep track of it easily. The realized section. The work to understand your data life cycle never ends. It is a constant routine of collecting inputs, processing each input both individually and collectively, and finally arriving at an output. The inputs are anything you can imagine. The processing is trying to define the input for what it is when you receive it, then deciding if you can use it to help you. If you decide you can use it to help you, then you do something with the input and arrive at an output. Let's go through 2 examples to help you grasp what I just shared with you. Example 1. Say you get an instruction from your boss to do some work. The work is something no one at the company has done before. First, you need to understand clearly what your boss wants you to deliver to them when your work is finished. Second, you go and get the materials you need to accomplish the work. Third, you confirm the materials are what you need. Fourth, you do what you need to do with the materials. Finally, you deliver the accomplished work to your boss as agreed. Example 2. Say a loved one in your life has a tone of voice that is something you did not expect from them. Say they sound upset. You love them, so you want to understand why they are upset. So you gather inputs. You look for anything you can see. You ask them questions. You even smell and perhaps feel with your hands to learn if there is anything you can discover about what is causing them to be upset. These are your inputs. You then do what you can to understand the inputs. This is your processing. Finally, you arrive at an output called your understanding of why they are upset. You tell them what you understand about why they are upset. They provide you with more input on why they are upset. You repeat the cycle of events again and again, hopefully understanding clearly why they are upset. The understood in part section. Now you have a partial understanding of the 2 examples. You still need to find out from your boss to understand how they feel about the work you accomplished. You still need to find out what can happen to prevent the loved one from remaining upset. The flows out of you to another person section. All of the wisdom you are using is realized in your outputs, your delivered work to your boss, and the love you have for the other person to understand why they are upset. I covered inputs, processes, and outputs in the December 16th, 2025 episode. I recommend you review that episode as you see fit. The further understood section. Getting more input from either your boss or your loved one is one part of your inputs. You have many other inputs available to you beyond these 2 people. You process the additional inputs and arrive at outputs. I will not step through the endless list of inputs we have in life. The flows out of you to another person section. You have additional inputs that have been processed and formed as output to deliver more tangibly to your boss and more to your loved one. Your boss will most likely have questions about your work. Your discussion with your boss is combined input, process, and output, where more of the wisdom within you flows out of you to your boss. Your loved one will most likely be grateful that you care enough about them to understand why they are upset, and perhaps care enough about you to want you to help them stop being upset. Your discussion with your loved one is an output, where more of the wisdom within you flows out of you to your loved one. The 2 examples I presented to you are only 2 of countless aspects of a few seconds or a few hours in all of life's activities. You're already using wisdom. Otherwise, you would not have either a boss or a loved one. We all have a boss, even when working for ourselves. We all have loved ones, regardless of their desire to receive our love. Now let's look at the attributes of people I have seen over the decades who have wisdom in their lives, evidenced by their usage of the truth. This list is nowhere near complete, but it is the list of attributes I see more often than other attributes in a person who has wisdom in their life. I present the top attributes, which happen to be 5 attributes. Slow to speak. There is no arrogance in wisdom. Only the unwise use arrogance. The slowness comes from thinking before speaking. The inputs are being processed to deliver an output in the form of speaking. Wanting more inputs. The person using wisdom knows beyond the shadow of a doubt that they will never have enough inputs, but they are constantly looking for all of the inputs they can get. They ask for inputs, work to get inputs on their own, and work with others to get inputs. Confirms understandings. No wise person ever assumes a conclusion. They review their inputs, their processes, and their outputs, both alone and with others, through immense scrutiny. This review can take seconds, or even years, or perhaps a lifetime of painstaking effort. It is a matter of how important each output is to the person who delivers each output. The higher the importance, the more evidence they are pursuing the truth. Wants to build more and more. The wise person does not waste relationships. They want to take each interaction with each person and build on it. They want to accomplish more than they can alone by relating healthfully with others. This building can take seconds or years. Regardless, they do not burn the bridge with others unless there is zero match in virtues. Asks for more of a relationship. The building of more and more further builds the relationship. There are times when what was built needs to be remodeled, so to speak, in the relationship. Not thrown away, but remodeled to have a healthier relationship. This desire for more of a relationship comes through maturing occurring within each person, knowing they need to build relationships with other people too, knowing well that there are only so many hours in a day. The more part of the relationship will take time to accomplish to build all of the relationships in the picture. It may hurt to spend less time with a person, but the time spent is more rewarding with each moment of togetherness. So how do you feel about wisdom? How do you feel about the truth? I hope that you are feeling pretty good about both of them, since they are the same. I hope you're not overwhelmed. I encourage you to realize you are on a journey for the rest of your life to walk in wisdom in the pursuit of the truth. Another way to say the same thing is you are using the truth to understand wisdom by dwelling together with prudence, knowledge, and discretion. It is a good journey, but not a journey everyone chooses to walk. I have never met a person who held any form of regret for walking in wisdom. Having the truth is more valuable than any form of money that could be gone in an instant from acting in folly. Well, that's it for today. Richly is goodly. Please consider all you've heard from me today. Try to settle in your mind my role in your life. Doing so will help you be ready to continue your journey with loads of joy and excitement about the good results in your life gained from experiencing all I have to share with you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Richly or Poorly Show. I've enjoyed presenting to you today. Until next episode, I hope you will be safe and join me next week. Until then.